This unused, out-of-date, laminated £50 is the key to my motivation. Now, before I can tell you why this out-of-date, unused note motivates me, I need to tell you a little bit of a backstory behind it and the start of my business. But first, I need a trim. So to really understand why this £50 note motivates me, I need to take you way back to the beginning of my business journey. When I started my business, I was sofa hopping between my parents' house. I was predominantly sleeping on my dad's sofa and predominantly living there the majority of the time. But I didn't have my own space. I didn't have my own bedroom and I didn't have my own place to live. Now, of course, I was very grateful to have a roof over my head, but I was used to a higher quality of living. And one of my goals was to move out and be able to find somewhere that I could afford to rent. Now, this was just a personal goal of mine and it gave me extra motivation to get my business thriving, but it still doesn't explain the £50 note. But you need to understand this part of the story to understand why the note is so powerful, even though I can't use it. So as I started the sports therapy side of my business, I was based out of 2 separate gyms. Now, this was initially a big graft. It was so hard to get clients initially because nobody knew who I was. I was flyering, I was talking to people, but it was hard. And in this instance, time was a missing element to help me progress my business. It took a period of time for me to build up my client base and build up my customers so that I could earn enough money to get my own bedroom. So throughout growing my business, I encountered many struggles, but I even encountered some pagans, or for those that don't understand, haters. I encountered many haters along my business journey, and some would even call them enemies of progress. But I'm going to tell you about 2 haters in particular. So the first one was at the first gym that I was working at, seeing individual clients, helping them with their pain, injury or discomfort. And one day, as I was handing out my flyers, giving them to different people, I encountered a hater. Someone I will never ever forget. And this person took a flyer of mine and said to me, "These prices are ridiculous. Nobody would ever pay that for this service." Oh my gosh. As a young entrepreneur, you never know what that did to me. It did 2 things. It broke my soul. At that moment in time, I lost all confidence in handing out flyers, but it also encouraged me. It made me realize that these people are just haters because I had done my market research and in fact, my pricing was very, very reasonable. And 20 minutes later, after building my confidence back, I went back to handing out flyers. And then I encountered a lovely lady who saw my flyers and said, "Oh, these prices are really reasonable. I'm going to email you when I get home and book in." And she did. The second pagan was while I was working at the second gym that I managed to rent a treatment room from. Now, the treatment room had been obsolete. It wasn't being used for a very long period of time. And I decided to rent it so that I could see my individual clients and help them with their injuries and pain. But as I was setting up in this gym, the yoga instructor told me that my business would never work. He told me I wouldn't get bookings. He told me that everyone that had been and rented the room failed. He said, "There's no point, give up because you're not gonna last here." What a hater. But this still doesn't explain why this unused £50 motivates me, and I will get there, I promise. So let's just recap quickly. I'm sleeping on a sofa as I'm trying to start and grow my business, and I'm dealing with pagans and haters as I'm trying to grow my business, and I'm dealing with all the struggles and difficulties that come with starting and growing a business. And then one day I get a phone call. Now, I already had loads of phone calls throughout my business because I was continuously getting clients, but I got one phone call in particular. Now, this phone call was from a lady. Let's call her Mrs. L. Mrs. L was calling to inquire and book a sports massage. She had never had a sports massage before. This was going to be her first sports massage with me. She sounded polite, she sounded professional, and she was looking forward to her sports massage. So I booked her in. Now, for those of you that know what a sports massage is, you know that it can be a little bit firmer and a little bit of a deeper pressure than most types of massage. So on arrival, Mrs. L came into the treatment room. She was very polite, as I mentioned. She had her sports massage with me, and at the end, she paid with this £50 note. And there's a significant reason why I kept it. This was the first £50 note that I had ever earned, and I was so excited. This was a massive step for me and my business. So this £50 not only symbolizes that moment, but it symbolizes so much more to me. It symbolizes hope, symbolizes achievement and accomplishment, and it symbolizes not listening to the haters and doubters. This £50 symbolizes to me that I can, and I have, and I did. And what this £50 does is remind me the journey that I've been on from the start of my business. It reminds me of the times when I used to sleep on the sofa. It reminds me of the difficulties I had trying to initially get clients, handing out flyers, going posting flyers in letterboxes. It reminds me of all those difficult times. And on days where maybe I'm feeling a little bit low in motivation or a little bit low in morale, I can take one look at this £50 note and remind myself of where I've come from. Because now I have my own room. Now I have a regular continuous income. Now I'm my own boss on a full-time permanent basis. This £50 note lives in my cupboard, and when I open it up to put some deodorant on in the morning, it's always there to remind me. And this is a reminder to you, wherever you are in life, just look back on the things that you've accomplished. Look back on where you were and where you are now. And even if you haven't made progress, look at the journey, look at the things you've encountered. Because as a business owner, it sure damn helps me. And I hope, if anything, this video just acts as a reminder for you all. Now, if you want some more inspiration, you need to check out this video here on the 7-day success challenge. I've got a few people to do it with me. Check it out.